So after you separate the coils, the top and the bottom part, let me zoom in, there you go. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the coil out, gotta pull out the contacts and that rubber thingy, I don't know what it's called. So to make it easy, make sure you twist the coil, the leg that's poking out. And I mean, you could use any tool. You got fingernails, that would work as well, but you know, handy tweezers work for me. And the coil jig, just slowly push out that coil there, and yeah, you see all that gunk in there, that burnt cotton. We don't want that. See that? Bye bye cotton. Okay, so now we got that out. I'm just gonna brush out the burnt parts from the original coil. Just keep doing that until you're satisfied. So yeah, my coil brush is a bit worn, so let me just like straighten it out. Basic pliers there, and back to some more brushing. So you gotta be a bit careful though. Looks like I'm really going out of town on that coil there, but I'm actually being really careful not to mess up the spacing between the wraps. So you could also try heating the coils up with a lighter. That works. Heat the coil up a bit and keep brushing it. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna straighten out that end of the leg. Some pliers. I mean, you don't need to do that, but it just makes it easier to slip the cotton into that side of the leg there. So this coil has a 2mm diameter. Slowly push it back in there, and you could even out the space between the wraps if you want. And that's what I did just there. Focus. There, focus. Hi. Sorry, this is just my cell phone I'm using here. So yeah, there we go. Evening it out. Just make sure it's nice and even, because we don't want those coils touching and burning out when you're hitting your vape. And just twist it. Twist that coil, that cotton over and over and over around the coil. So this is experimental. When I took out the coil, the cotton, the original coils cotton wasn't wrapped this way, but I just wanted a quick fix. So just wrap it around tightly, as tight as you can. Add some more cotton. I mean, you could figure this out as you go. If you find that just one long piece of cotton is too thick, then you don't need to add that second part. You just go with that first long strip of cotton. This was actually my first try, and I found that after about 8 puffs, it started to taste a bit burnt, like the cotton was too thick, and the coil wasn't wicking properly. So what I did was I went and took another coil, used coil, and did the same thing, but I didn't add that second part. And instead of having that piece right there sticking out, I just cut a smaller strip and just wrapped it around the outer part of the coil. But this works as well. The key thing here is you just have to, I don't know, kind of feel for it. You know, if you're sticking that coil in there and you feel that it's too loose, it's wiggling around a lot when you're adjusting the legs of the coil, then yeah, go back and just trim your cotton. Like I'm not an expert. I'm just like, you know, figuring this thing out. There you go, and some tweezers. Just make sure that those legs are sticking out, and one side, I don't know if it's a positive or negative. I'm just like just going at it here. I don't even know what I'm doing. So one side needs to touch the side of the coils, and then the other one just pokes out like that. Push back that rubber tip, push the contact in. There you go. Just take some pliers and kind of squeeze, add some weight, and just press the coils down nice and slow. I've seen some people like use the pliers and just like whack on the coils. That's too much noise for me. Yeah, and just trim that little piece out. And just make sure that that bottom part is nice and firm in there, because you don't want your juice spilling out. Okay, so here's how I test if the coil works, and there you go. I just tap it into the contacts in there. Well, let me clear that out. So that's not leakage. I haven't had any leakage with this device. That's just oh, I can't think of the word right now. You know, moisture. Yeah. So I didn't have Q-tips handy. I mean, they're upstairs in my bedroom, and I'm at my work desk. So just cotton, tissue, piece of cloth, whatever works for you. Wipe that down, and boom, there we go. Works. So let me just test and see. Yeah, that's the original coil. So it's still good, but I just wanted, you know, I always have like spare coils with me. But let's test this baby out. Let's see if it works. So let me just like pour out liquid that's left in my tank. Tap, 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 tap it out. I mean, you don't have to tap it, but I just don't want any drops and spills and whatnot. And I'm not gonna wash my my pod or tank or whatever you want to call it, because I'm just using the same e-liquid. Some 35 milligrams mango, and this is local Thai e-liquid. So if ever you're in Thailand, look up Vaped, VAPETEDD. So squeezing out some air and getting some new air into that bottle. Yeah, I'm a cheapskate. I don't like wasting liquid. So let me just take a syringe and suck that juice out. Now, I have like so many coils lying around, confusing myself. Here we go. Let's prime this baby up. Priming. 2 drops, sometimes 3. And what I like to do is I like to to blow some air into that coil to make sure that the liquid that I drop in there is really going into the cotton and wicking it, saturating it. Let's fill this baby up. I like to give my juice a good shake. Make sure the ingredients are nice and settled. Pop that drip tip back on. And voila. There you go.